Magnus, thank you for being here.
Hi,
Magnus,
good to meet you.
for the people who don't know you, what are you known for?
I'm an adventurer. I love life. People say I'm very happy, and I love to build stuff. And 6 months ago, we started with BrowserUse, where we enable AI to control your computer. So you can simply tell your browser or your computer the goal, what you want to achieve, and we do the clicking for you. So you don't have to click yourself.
About BrowserUse, how the idea was born when you created the idea for BrowserUse, and also are you alone in developing this, or do you have a team?
Now, the idea was born already 10 years ago. I was always very lazy. So we had like a small t-shirt business where we sold t-shirt designs online, and we had like 5,000 designs, and my job was to upload them online. And I had to fill out forms online, 5,000 to upload those t-shirt designs. But I hated it. So I recorded my mouse movement, recorded automation scripts to do this automatically for me. And I think I spent much more time creating those scripts than it actually saved me. But it was always very fascinating to press play and see how the computer does something for me. Over time, I moved more and more into ML research. And one day last year, we just thought, okay, let's combine those two fields. And I was born here in Zurich at ETH, where I was studying in my master. And me and Craig, we went to lunch together after finishing our previous startups, which didn't work out as we intended it to be. And then we just thought, okay, let's combine those two fields. Can we build a system where you can just tell your computer what to do and it does it?
BrowserUse was invented in which years, in which month?
In November last year.
Okay,
2024.
November last year. And since November last year, I seen that BrowserUse was also a part of the code of BrowserUse was also used in Manus. The
Yes,
what do you feel about it?
I think it's awesome. I think our vision is that we become the interface between LLMs and the internet, so that everyone who wants to build agents to connect to the internet can build on top of BrowserUse as an interface. And Manos, they built a B2C application for many users, and they did many cool things around BrowserUse. Like they took a small part of our code and then they reiterated over and over on it and built many things around it. I think they did a really good job.
Okay. I was looking like a few minutes ago about in your GitHub repository. I see that you are you are 100% open source, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
But we
but
also have a hosted version. So for example, like you can use our repo to very quickly launch like agents, connect to the internet. But if you want to do this on scale and you want to run, let's say, 10,000 agents every day, you can't do this on your own computer. So then you need infrastructure for it. We sell this infrastructure in a hosted version.
okay. So your core business is selling the infrastructure, right?
Yeah, setting the infrastructure, but also helping people to configure their agents, like support around our library. So for open
Okay.
source business models, you normally always have three approaches to make money. Either you sell infrastructure, or you sell support, or you sell special features on top, which are not included in the open source.
Yes, like you develop a feature, you like you code a special feature for a specific company, something like that.
Yeah, or for example, you say, okay, this agent has no better performance, or maybe is faster, or maybe has some companies they want better authentication, or maybe they want that the team that people can collaborate, or maybe a manager needs a monitoring system where the manager knows, oh, this month we spent 100,000 in credits, and then you just sell those features which are not included in the open source because no one normally needs them, but for enterprises they're very valuable.
Yes. Just wait a second, I think. Wait, try. Prova. Okay, just for the recording, I wanted to make sure that my recording was everything right. Yes, and but when you told me that you are selling infrastructure, you are referring to the service that actually is present on your website, because I tried the BrowserUse with your website. I just paid a month for trying BrowserUse. And when you are talking to me about selling infrastructure, you are talking about that?
Yes, it's the BrowserUse Cloud. This thing which you tried, this UI, is just like a small playground to play around with it, to try out some quick tasks. But there we have an API, and you can basically just send us your task, and we send you back the result. So we handle all the browser, LLM side. So people can send us thousands of tasks, and we run it on our infrastructure with our LLMs, and then we send them back the result.
Okay, understood. So you're making money with personalized service for companies. So like, for example, as you told, a monitoring interface for the manager. You make money with the web browser with the web browser service, and also with API. Because if people pay the API request, your servers, for example, could run like thousands of BrowserUse to do the various requests, right? I understood correctly? Okay, perfect. And the question is, what your typical client do with BrowserUse? Because yes, BrowserUse can command the browser for you, but what are the typical clients? Because yes, I can buy something on Amazon for myself, but I don't think this is the use for a lot of company.
Yeah. So use cases which we see. Some people, they use it to test websites, to test, okay, does this button work? And then to make some changes and then test it again. They have like hundreds of things which I want to test. Other people, a big group of people, they use it for form filling. So you need to go to a website and fill out a form, which more with patient data, or with a name and surname and your flight number, and then you get a receipt from an airline. Or some people are using it to fill out to create new contacts inside their CRM. You fill out a form with contacts. And right now there are just millions and millions of people who every day do nothing different than getting an email with a PDF of some persona information. They read the PDF, and then they need to type this information into a form. And they basically the entire day just copy data from one place to another. And this can be automated with such agents.
Okay. In Italy, there is a thing called Click Day, who move millions of euros. And the Click Day, I am working right now on a team of a Click Day. And my team just fill out form. You have one day, for example, let's say tomorrow at 11, just an example. At 11, you need to fill out the form in, for example, less than 30 seconds. Why? Because if you can fill out the form, you receive money. If there are a lot of people who fill a lot of form, you can receive a lot of million of euros, because this is like it's the government to give money to the companies. But the Click Day cannot be automated. Why cannot be automated? Because you have to do things very fast, like in 30 seconds, usually less than 30 seconds, like 10 seconds. And the form every time are different. You don't know what you will find on the form. This is a feature of the Click Day, because government don't want people who do this in automatic way. They every time change the data. So there will be a time when agent like BrowserUse can do this in 10 seconds. I'm really interested in this personally, because I am one of the clicker who do these jobs. And I tried with a simulator, because I have a simulator with BrowserUse, but BrowserUse actually it's too slow.
Too slow currently. What are typical questions in this form?
It varies every time, but usually you have data. You have your data, like the code of your company, like the number of money you will receive that vary every time. You have, like, for example, 20 parameters. And on the form, you have these 20 parameters to insert in the form. And also, you have to reply to some questions that are right in strange way. For example, if you have 33 cats, minus one, how many cats do you have? But it's not written in number, but in words. And you have to type the words, like 32 cats.
Okay. So they do this as captcha to check that you're actually a human.
They try to, yes, create some kind of captcha, but it's not technology like reCAPTCHA or something like this. It's not like this. It's just a question written in Italian. And but they are written in strange ways.
Okay. And like the purpose of this entire system is for them to get data, or for them to you take an image and fill out the right form. Like, is it for them to get training data for AI models?
No. The entire purpose of this system is Italian government, like, have let's say 500 million. Let's say it's probably a real amount. Let's say 500 million. In Italian is 500. I'm hoping I'm translating correctly, but 500 million. And you have like 100 company who want this money. Then, for example, tomorrow, 11, you have 30 seconds for getting the money if you are a company. They don't want an automated system, because if you have an automated system, the companies who win these click days are the ones who have the automated system. So the entire purpose of the procedure is to make sure that there are humans, that the system is fair. But if you invent an artificial intelligence who do this in like 30 seconds, of course, the company who have this artificial intelligence will use that. Actually, they use gamers.
Currently, this is for vendors, so that someone gets an offer from the government to get money from the government, right?
Yes,
and then
exactly.
100 different companies compete, and then every time, every single company fills it out, and in the end, the government evaluates, okay, which one is the best one.
Yes, the entire thing is that the company use gamers. I am a gamer, very fast clicker. Like one of my friend was an ex Halo 1 champion, and he was very fast to click. And the entire thing is that if you complete the procedure, you get the money. There is you have already passed the evaluation before the procedure. So you pass the procedure, you get the money.
So it's just about who is the fastest.
Yes.
So 100 companies, it gets released, and then all have like professional gamers who are just very, very fast in typing.
More than 100. Yes, but it's like 1,000 company.
So you get is it like all day you get new offers? Or do you need to
you
wait,
get like
and then you get an email, and then you need to click, and then done, and then 10 seconds later you're done?
Yes, but it's like 5 or 4 times in a year, because there are a lot of money, and you know the day and the hour. Like, for example, the last one, I think it was 2 months ago, and it was at 12, like the eating time. And there are 1,100 of people ready to click. I am one of the winners.
Really? Did you win?
Yes, yeah, I win most of the time. I have a good score.
Because you can click so fast.
Yeah, yes. But I was a gamer, so I am one of the top winner. Yes.
Wow. And then the company pays you, and you get it, and the company makes a lot of money.
Yeah, yes, I also make money because I fast click, I'm getting paid. So I'm okay. But since I know BrowserUse, I was thinking about this, because the main problem is that the BrowserUse take time for reading the screen.
Yeah, I see. Of course, we can take faster models, like much smaller models, like for example, Gemini is already much faster. But I think currently you would be still faster as a human, because we process the web page. I mean, we could, like, now we release some new systems, for example, workflow builder, where you can record your screen like a workflow, so that the AI knows already beforehand what to do, and then we can just rerun the same workflow with different data over and over again, really, really fast and reliable.
Yes,
But if the website changes too much, then this wouldn't be possible, I think.
yes, no, the website change every time, and you don't know how the developer will code the page. So this is not possible. No, not possible.
Yeah, I think you're still much faster.
But why browser use is lower? Because of what's the most slow task that you have to do?
The biggest time-consuming part is the latency of the LLM model. So we process the page, let's say in half of a second, maybe even less, maybe 0.1 seconds. Okay, we have all the information from the page. But now we need to send this to OpenAI or to Google Gemini, to the big AI models. And then it takes like 3-4 seconds until we get a response with where to click. But if we can make AI models much, much faster after inference and can bring this down to like 0.1 seconds, then it's really, really fast.
A possibility it will be like to have Llama or DeepSeek on your on private server, but the problem is that if that self-hosted DeepSeek or Llama are not smart enough to reply in the right way to the captcha of click day.
Yeah,
I
they're very,
tried.
very slow also.
Yes, but even if you have the fast one, I see that I need because, for example, the captcha are made right by O3 of OpenAI O3. If I use 4.0 or 4.0 Mini, 4.0 Mini just do wrong the captcha.
Yeah, I understand.
So not possible. And if a person would like to start developing with BrowserUse, where they could start?
I mean, if you know how to code, then it's easy. You can go to our GitHub project. We are now the largest GitHub project for browser agents. And you can just pip install BrowserUse, and then you can start prompting. And then you can play around with it, give them some tasks, fill out some forms. I don't know, go to your favorite sites, process them, extract information, find some fine use cases, and then you will run into some issues or some bugs. And then you can just dive deeper into the code and try to fix them.
Okay. But about developing BrowserUse, you are a team, right? Or it's just you? No, you have a team.
Yeah, I mean, me and Craig started together the first 4 months. Then last month we raised a lot of money, and we were in San Francisco the entire year until now. We raised like 17 million now, and now we hired some people. Like we hired now 2 people full time. Now we are like a small team.
So just as for picking it correctly, because I am Italian, sometimes I lose a little bit of the English discourse. You started with another person, so you were two
Yeah.
on the start.
Yeah.
Okay. Two founders.
Yeah.
Okay, and then now you raised 70 million, 70 million.
No, 17 million.
What 17? Yes. Okay,
17
17
million.
million.
Yeah.
Okay, and you are start hiring just now.
Yeah, we started like last month, hired some people full time, and now we're going fully in and built a really cool hacker house in San Francisco where we live and work together. We're really looking forward to that.
Okay, so the main code of BrowserUse was written by only two people.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Very cool. Very cool. What are your future project with BrowserUse? What do you intend to do? How do you intend to expand the company?
I intend that BrowserUse does more clicks than humans in the internet, and that everyone who builds agents or builds on top of BrowserUse to connect with the internet. And right now I'm building something that you can record. You can record a flow. For example, you can record to send a message on LinkedIn, and then other people can just reuse your automation, your workflow. And then we can turn the entire internet into automation workflows, which people can share among each other and reuse.
Okay. Like I'm using AIN 8N. I think
Mhm.
this is the pronunciation for building modular agent for myself. I
Okay.
am a one-man band company, so I'm using a lot of agents to do a lot of tasks. Otherwise, I cannot do everything. And I see that the N8N have like this repository with a lot of workflow built by total people. You want to do something like that?
Something like that, but browser is mainly to take action inside the browser, and this kind of action, and then it's great for websites which have an API, like Gmail or I don't know, GitHub, all those things which have an API, and it then is perfect because they can include them. But if a website doesn't have an API, then there's no way to automate that. That's where we step in.
Yes,
But tell me,
yes.
what did you build with N8N?
Um,
What was the most useful so far for you?
Most useful for me right now, it's I have an e-commerce where I sell courses about artificial intelligence, also about building agent. And I also do advertising with my e-commerce. So I need all the data that my e-commerce have placed in an Excel file to read like I want to read. So I know how to modify every day my advertising. I take client by paying advertising, and I scale up my advertising every month. So I need to know what happened. And I'm using various services, like I have an email service. I need the open rate for the email. I need to know exactly what course sell better than another. So
Mhm.
I'm using mainly NA10 for having the data in, and I use OpenAI to analyze the data. I use first O1. Now I am using O3 for analyze the data for the e-commerce and understand how to scale up. Mainly this. Like I had another company 2 years ago, and this process was a bottleneck because I need a lot of data. I need a person to take the data from the various servers and fill it manually, and I had a lot of error. With agent, I have 0 error, and I have O3 that is smarter than me. And sometimes with my own prompt, tell me what to do better than I was thinking to do that. So
It's
it's very.
interesting. So, so you put in your last month's sales numbers, for example, which course sold how well,
I put
and
in real time.
in real time, and then O3 outputs you new marketing slogans or new course ideas. Or what's the output of O3?
It depends on what I need to do. But for example, in this way, for example, I have a Facebook pixel. I go very technically. I have a Facebook pixel. Sometimes the Facebook pixel tell me that Facebook have done a conversion, but that conversion was not made by Facebook, was made by my marketing campaign via email. And I need to track this kind of thing because I need to understand exactly what process I need to do the next day, the next month for scale up. Because, for example, I have out a campaign for selling video course about image manipulation and video manipulation with Sora, Kling, all various models. And I have a backend campaign where I sell a course about agents. Sometimes Facebook, a lot of time, Facebook tell me I have 5 conversion, but that 5 conversion was not about the image course, it was about the agent course. And I need to know this kind of thing real time for example, create the next marketing campaign for the next month. But when you have a lot of order every day, it's difficult to understand, like just I look at the interface and I say, oh yes, it's like that. No, I need to read the data. And a lot of time, O3 read the data, since there are a lot of data, better than me.
Okay, very interesting. Very interesting.
Mm. And just tell me something. Before BrowserUse, what kind of what did you do in life before creating this? I am curious about your past, about how you arrived there to BrowserUse.
I was hitchhiking around the world. I stand next to the road and just hitchhike, try to stop cars. For example, I was hitchhiking from Mexico to Costa Rica through entire Central America. I was hitchhiking Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, El Salvador, until Costa Rica. And then later we said, okay, let's do another season. Let's do season 2. So we met again in Germany, in Munich, and we hitchhiked to Iran. So we hitchhiked through entire Europe and Middle East, and all which we had with us was a hammock, between 2 trees. You can put a hammock.
Yes.
You sleep in a hammock, and a camping cooker. We took some pasta, cooked some pasta, and slept outside in the forest. That was awesome.
How many months did you spend hitchhiking? Months or years?
I don't know, maybe it was always on off, I did it like for 3 months, then I again worked for 3 months, or did some internship, then I hitchhiked again 3 months, then I studied again a bit, then I hitchhiked again. Maybe in total, I don't know. Maybe in total it was only 6 months, but for me it feels like 5 years.
How old are you?
I'm now 24.
Oh, okay. Good. But where did you learn coding?
Coding I learned like 10 years ago I when I started to
At 14?
kind of 14, 15, when this t-shirt business, which I explained to you, where just automated everyday tasks for me with recording my screen. And there I learned then to create like Python scripts to actually automate those things.
So your first business, you were only 15 for your first business.
First business in my home village. I come from a very tiny village with 500 people and 5,000 cows. I sold newspapers when I was much, much younger. I think when I was, I don't know, 8, I already started to sell newspapers, like only a few. But then when I was like 13, I sold many more newspapers.
Okay. But the first business that you automate, where are you from?
From Germany.
From Germany. Ah, we are near. I am from Italy. You are from Germany. Not so distant. So your first business, you for making your first money, you sold newspaper. Then you went online, but what did you sell online exactly?
T-shirt designs. So you can order a T-shirt with a
Mhm.
design, for example, with a really nice text on it. And I created the text, and you pay 20 bucks for a T-shirt, and I get, I don't know, 5 euros because the design is from me.
Okay. So you were running ads.
Not really. We didn't put ads. There are platforms online like Spreadshirt or Merch by Amazon or Redbubble,
Okay.
platforms where you can sell T-shirts. It's like made for this.
Okay, organic traffic. And then you start eye-tracking with the money that you have made online?
No. Like I studied a bit. I studied neuroscience. I worked a bit, and for hitchhiking, you don't need money. Like we were sleeping outside, you don't really need money for hitchhiking around. There was not really a need for money.
Okay. So then you worked, then you go hitchhiking, and then you invented BrowserUse.
Yeah, then I studied a bit, worked a bit. Then we came to Switzerland, to ETH, to study here for the master degree. And there we started with BrowserUse last year.
Okay. Very unusual story, but very cool because, sometime in Italy, you expect that the person who invent a system like BrowserUse, it will be like a 40 years old professor who just coded for all of his life, but
No,
so
yeah.
cool. Last technical question, then we will finish this podcast. The last technical question that I am curious about is how people, how you get client with BrowserUse? It's just organic and word of mouth, no advertising?
Yes, yes. Only that's the cool thing of open source. Because we have an open source, our code is open source. So people that can just install it. And we create nice demos online, but other people also create many demos. And then we have many demos all around the internet, and then people just see it and they come to us.
Okay. Okay, it's just so cool because you just created something that has so much value that you don't need to spend on marketing because people wanted to know everywhere in the world how to do this. BrowserUse was the first browser agent that I came to use successfully because I needed a lot browser agent for various tasks, and I was searching something that works for real. And your was the first code where I came across that worked for real, that could automate for me something on. I tried a lot before BrowserUse, but I never solved the problem of having something that worked, that actually really worked.
That's
So
awesome. And of course, we also know we still have a long way ahead of us, and we have so many ideas how to make this even more awesome.
good. Um, just two final questions that are not technical, of course. If you will go back in time 10 years ago, what will you tell to yourself 10 years ago?
I'm awesome.
That will be what you will tell to your younger self?
Yeah, I don't know, make other people smile, optimize a little bit for love, and just make people happy. Build something what people want.
And are you happy in this period of your life?
Yes, definitely. I mean, there's also a lot of pressure right now, of course, but it's awesome. It's awesome to have so much opportunity and build cool things. I'm happy.
Good. Thank you very much for this podcast. I
Yeah.
will publish this very soon. So thank you. Just wait 1 second for me because I will stop the recording.
Mhm.
And thank you very much.
Awesome.